Never have I known a film series more than this that plays so fast and loose with the laws of physics. But does that make me furious? We're going to find out in this review here for the latest instalment in the Fast and Furious franchise, Fast X, or Fast 10 if you will. Let's talk about it. So welcome back to the channel, everyone, and welcome to this here film review. Yes, Dominic Toretto, Vin Diesel, is back in the driver's seat yet again for what is the umpteenth film in the Fast and Furious franchise. I believe it to be the 11th film when you include Hobbs and Shaw, which kind of makes sense. X, 10 plus 1 equals 11. My maths is on point today. But yeah, so this film here, did I enjoy it? Didn't I enjoy it? We're going to explore that now, and I'm going to give you my review. I'm going to give you a spoil-less review. I'm not going to spoil this film for you whatsoever, because I know this film series has a lot of great fans to it, and they want to go in blind, and I totally get that. I went into this one blind myself, all bar watching one trailer. Yes. Now, as this film series goes, I'll be honest, I didn't really like the Fast and Furious franchise when they first started. The first few films don't really do much for me. Racing and all that, muscle cars, not really much interest. They don't hold much interest. But when this film became stupid, over the top, fun, switch off your brain at the door kind of movies, I kind of started paying attention, because I could watch them and I could get some enjoyment level out of their complete and utter stupidness. So does that continue here? Yeah, so this film here comes at us with a runtime of 2 hours and 21 minutes and directed by Louis Leterrier, who's responsible for directing films in the past that you probably are aware of. Transporter 1 and 2 with Jason Statham, The Incredible Hulk. Yes, the black sheep of the Marvel family of movies. Clash of the Titans. And this film here, sorry, was This film was written by Don Marzo and Justin Lin. Justin Lin, obviously having something to do with this franchise in the past, as we know. And this film has got a cast list as long as your arm. It certainly has. Vin Diesel, Michelle Rodriguez, Jason Statham, Shung Lee, Jordana Brewster, Tyrese Gibson, Ludacris, Charlize Theron, John Cena, Brie Larson, Scott Eastwood, Jason Momoa, Alan Ritchson, who's currently playing Reacher on TV, as a wealth of other individuals that pop up. A few surprises as well in the mix. So this film here, the story for this film is basically, it starts off with flashbacks to one of the previous Fast films. The one where they steal the big safe. Is that the fifth one? Possibly. I don't know. I think it's the one that introduced Dwayne Johnson, if I'm not mistaken. And we come to learn that the individual that owned that safe had a son who's now played by Jason Momoa, who wants revenge on Dominic Toretto for killing his father, but for being responsible for stealing all of their money, all this sort of thing. And it's him that now goes after the Toretto family. The agency, the sort of spy agency that the Torettos and his family now work for, have turned against him because the bloke who was running the agency, formerly played by Kurt Russell, no, he's not in the film, has vanished, missing, and it's now being headed up by Alan Ritchson, who decides to go after Dom after certain events in Rome. The cast are pretty much split up in this film. Jason Momoa has a plan, he enacts it, and this causes everyone to go their sort of, not separate ways, but they're all caught in different places, different things going on, different storylines coming together. There are cast members that don't cross paths within the context of the narrative of the film and all this sort of stuff. That's basically the plot of the film, is Jason Momoa wrecking havoc, going after Dom's family, double crossing, all this sort of stuff going on. The film is shot in loads of different locales. It's a globe hopping adventure, several different continents. The amount of on-screen titles for countries and this sort of thing, you'd be drunk if you were playing a drinking game with this movie and took a drink every time something popped up on the screen for a title for you to read, a place card, if you will. But you know, the last Fast and the Furious film got a lot of criticism. It certainly did, but I didn't mind it. I didn't have a problem with it. I still went in. I switched my brain off. You know, yes, how ludicrous was it that they went into space? I really don't care. Do you know, it was just fun, out and out fun. And that's what these films are to me. Nothing more than out and out fun. I go into them, I know what to expect. I know that when we're given an on-screen death, the chances are that person isn't dead and is going to return in a later film. These are very formulaic in that sense, in the narrative sense. So I don't really feel that anyone in the context of the film is in danger. If anyone is put into danger or seems to be killed off, I know that this character is going to be making a return at some point down the line, because that's what this film series does. Not only that, I know that if someone is a bad guy, they're inevitably in the next film, they're going to be a good guy. And again, that is what this film does. It is stupid. It certainly is switch off your brain at the door. I mean, these films are so, you know, they've gone on so long now that I can't even distinguish them apart, with the exception of Hobbs and Shaw. You can say something in a film, I wouldn't be able to tell you what film it came from. I'm not that invested in the sense that I watch these films over and over again. However, I enjoy them when I do watch them. They are a lot of fun. All the money is there up on the screen. This is an expensive looking film. The acting within the film, does there really need to be too much acting in films like this? Everyone has their fair share of stuff to do, and everyone has great times to shine on the screen. I will say that with the introduction of Jason Momoa as the film's villain, his performance is somewhat flamboyant. It's very much like a almost a character out of a play on stage, out of almost a pantomime-like villain, doing things that you would expect the Joker to do. And again, as a drinking game, if you took a swig every time that he had his arms out like this, you'd take a fair few swigs. But he's very good in his role. He's very good in what he does. I think Vin Diesel this time around, more so than in the last, is somewhat better. He was very monotone in the last one, not too much in the way of facial expressions. That doesn't really change, but I felt there was a bit more to his performance in this one. John Cena coming back, he kind of steals a lot of scenes that he's in, although he doesn't really play off against anyone other than the son of Vin Diesel in the film itself. But he's very good. Alan Ritchson is great to see on screen. He's got a great screen presence, this fella, and he's a lot of fun within the context of the movie. And there's a lot of returning faces, like I said. There's some shocks, there's some twists, there's some turns, there's some betrayals. I'm not going to go into detail. And, you know, certainly stay behind after the end credits for the end credits scene, because you're going to come out of this film feeling like you're stuck between the rock and a hard place. You certainly are. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I can't really say any more than that. Louis Leterrier has done a fantastic job directing this movie. It's as, you know, visceral, and it's beautifully shot. It looks great. Like I said, brain at the door time. We know that. We know what to expect from these movies. It's not a rubbish movie. It's fun. And it's certainly a film that I will add to the collection in 4K as well, like I did with the last couple. Although I don't feel the need to go back and get all the others in 4K. Just as the new ones roll out. That'll be fine. Anyway, this is AJ. I'm done. I'd be interested in your thoughts on this film series, your thoughts on this film if and when you see it, if indeed you are going to see it. If not, let me know if you had enough of these, because obviously we've got another 2 to come. Yes, this was meant to be a 2-part ender, and it's now turned into a trilogy ender. You got to get that money. Universal, got to get that money. They know that when this series comes to an end, their income's going to dry up somewhat. Anyway, so AJ, again, thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Take care all, and goodbye.